And, I was just candid with him. I said, hey, coach, you have a phenomenal program. I feel like you guys got a raw deal last year with everybody canceling your game. So I know you have some openings. If you guys are open to it, let's put a game together.
Look at that. That conversation actually led to one of the most talked about matchups in high school football, and it's now set for tomorrow night. We have learned that Garfield High School actually asked to play Archbishop Murphy, which is a team so dominant that 5 schools forfeited rather than play them during the 2016 season. This was big news a couple of months ago. So Garfield also grabbed headlines last year, but for very different reasons.
So tonight we are taking a closer look at both programs, from the controversy and criticism to how the Bulldogs and the Wildcats are working to move forward. King 5's Heather Graf begins our coverage at Garfield in Seattle.
Hey, take your backpack off. Stay a while.
The school year hasn't yet started.
Let's roll it.
But members of Garfield High's football team spent their final days of summer
Next play.
studying up,
It's going to come down to you guys up front, offensively and defensively.
watching game film,
Use the whole field.
under the watchful eye
1, 2, 3.
Let me show these youngsters how to do it.
of head coach Joey Thomas.
Still got it.
Now in his second season with the Bulldogs, Thomas says keeping the players in line,
Why are we walking? Let's go on the hop.
Go.
both on the field and off,
There you go. Get there. Get there.
is a big part of his job.
For a lot of these kids, you're a father figure. You're the crazy uncle. You're the big brother. So you wear a lot of different hats. Let's get it. Let's get it.
And though the hat Thomas is wearing right now is meant to shield him from the August sun,
Let's go. What's next? Talk to me.
it was back in April when the coach found himself taking a different kind of heat, accused of violating district and WIAA recruitment rules.
When your character is in question, at first it upsets you.
Then in June, the results of an independent investigation cleared Thomas of any wrongdoing.
We already knew how it was going to end, but it was an exhale moment to just say, okay, now we can move on. Eyes up!
He also refutes ongoing accusations that student athletes who are homeless are being taken advantage of by powerhouse football schools like Garfield in order to stack a roster.
Game week, baby.
Go.
And on the eve of their first game in 2017,
Let's go!
Thomas felt it was important to explain why he thinks some of these talented kids wanted to be Bulldogs.
Hey, good job, though. Keep working.
It's not about recruiting, he believes. It's about race.
Having an African-American head coach and having, African-American leadership is enticing to people, who look like you. When people look at our program and what draws families and, parents and, kids to our program is they see, just being truthful with it, a young African-American coach that parents and kids can identify with.
Let's do it.
Thomas knows the topic is tough to talk about,
Let's go, Savvy.
but he also knows the toughness of this team.
Say, can you see?
Just last year, they faced scrutiny after becoming one of the first high schools in the country to take part in national anthem protests that began in the NFL to draw attention to racial injustice.
It was just about hearing the voices of our student athletes and doing what they felt was right in their hearts.
As for whether they'll take a knee again this season,
1,000.
it will be a game-time decision for Garfield.
All right. Good job, Tom. But we'll have that discussion as a team and just kind of see where we're at, and whatever we do, we'll move forward together.
It's a beautiful day.
A team and a head coach
Who's gonna get the best piece of chicken?
who aren't afraid to speak their minds.
That's what we do. We've created that type of culture.
No matter the controversy it might cause.
Hey, let's go. Dogs on me. Dogs on 3.
Heather Graf,
1, 2, 3. Dogs.
King 5 News.
Garfield's Joey Thomas told us he has a lot of respect for Archbishop Murphy's football coach and his team, and that's a big part of the reason why he wanted to play them. Coming up in 2 minutes, we will head to Everett to check in with the Wildcats and see if they're worried the 2017 season will bring more forfeits.